without further ado, gentlemen, we had found ourselves in a sort of horrible, culty, like blood for the blood gods situation. And we've been there for a couple of sessions. The cult of Raktul Kesh, the Eberonian, uh, overlord of slaughter, a massive fiend that you now see before you. You've got a small party of normal people. Some of them were found on a research expedition. Some of them were just unfortunate travelers who were caught off guard in the Underdark. Some of them are knights of the Order of St. Jude. All of them now stand face to face with the biggest, scariest damn thing any of you have seen in your lives. Standing foot to crown, well over, what, 20 feet tall?
Holy cow.
The size of 3 people and change. 3 of Teos.
Yeah, I'll be back on Sunday.
With the lower body of some sort of perhaps horrible dinosaur, and the upper body of, well, perhaps being generous, you might call that a humanoid. It's like the worst griffin centaur nightmare monstrosity that you have ever seen. Pictures in the general chat. And up its body run blades pierced through like vertebrae. It does not speak. It simply shrieks. And as it does, you see weapons begin to collect in the air around it and come crashing to the ground. What do y'all do?
I'm being carried currently by Curse.
You've regained consciousness, for you do indeed have hit points, and it's more narratively expedient.
This is fair. So I'm waking up in. Oh gosh, we have all our resources just absolutely expended. Holy cow.
Yeah, you do.
Most of
This,
them.
I.
Creature.
How many spell slots do I even have?
It
Do I
kind
even
of
have?
looks like a snake.
Do I even have spells?
no,
This is a great question.
Since I was gone at the end of last session, so this is essentially like the end of last session's combat, correct? Like
Yeah.
immediately afterwards.
We killed
And a rift began to open, and a titanic archfiend of some sort has escaped. Once again, picture of it is in the general chat.
Okay. I see. That's
I
what that thing
cried.
was.
I don't know what description could possibly do it justice. It is such a busy design.
Cute.
I hear that little guy rustling around on my back.
Yeah,
Go
I'm gonna
forward.
wake up and be like scurry down you, like basically fall out of your arms and be like,
I'll be right back.
run.
Yes, I agree. This go
Okay.
Yeah, we're all gonna just hear in
Mac.
you're all gonna hear in your heads, except for Mac, who can't hear me ever. Monster ride! And I'm just gonna start pulling Curse's arm with two of my arms clasped around his hand and just tugging at him. Like we're running.
And then very soon, with 90 feet of movement, I will start tugging on your arm.
Okay. As we are hauling it out of here, I would like for everyone to roll me. I'm torn between a luck check and a dex save. I'm gonna call it a
It's a
dexterity.
God blessing check.
A God blessing check.
God's blessing check.
What are we rolling?
Dexterity saving throw.
Is this the spell?
No.
Darn.
I got a 16.
I'm okay with a 15.
25.
Okay. Did anybody roll lower than 6? Well, sorry, 7. Okay, great. I should yes. Your set picked in for Teos as Teos deftly dodges. Blades are flying everywhere. Ancient weapons. If you stopped to look at them, which of course you cannot, you would see that there's a combination of weapons that look ornamental or ceremonial in some way, weapons that are crudely smashed together, and blades fashioned by steelsmiths themselves or by automated forges on the continent of Corvair. Regardless of what they are, you see a refugee pierced through the chest as the as blades are flying everywhere, and you begin to haul it. As we are hauling it, we come to the next room. We're going through a single file hallway, give or take. We could maybe fit double file through there. It is clamoring. And Curse, well, Curse, you are not able to move at the speed that
No,
you
I'll stay
can,
with the group.
just 'cause,
Whatever. I'll stay with the group, but I just
yeah, it is. Yeah, everyone is all up in the same space at the same time. And is anybody voluntarily taking up the rear?
I'm gonna use my Misty Step actually just teleport.
I will.
Ed?
I'll take the
Is that
rear.
it?
I had a feeling you might, Teos. Could I have a dexterity save? And I think Danger Sense will help you on this.
The Bridge of Khazad-dûm music seemed appropriate.
Dude, that's great. Yeah. Got Balrog energy, for sure.
I just heard Gandalf go, "Run!" Ah!
Fly, you fools!
no.
That'll be a 19 dexterity saving throw.
Okay, understood. Yeah. You're gonna take half of, 13. You're gonna take, 6 slashing damage.
What's in
Um,
front of us?
Tom,
Yes.
well actually I redact my previous statement. Is this narrow hallway, how tall is it?
How tall is it? Not particularly.
As a small creature, could I reasonably be climbing on the ceiling?
Yes.
I'm gonna say no. It's a pretty thin,
Okay.
like small-ish hand, not anyway. Everybody's kind of in a big old mob.
Okay. Is it at all possible for me to Misty Step ahead just so it's less clogged up, or not reasonable?
Yeah, you could see things further ahead than anyone else is. You could cut to the front of the pack.
Okay, I'm gonna just do that so it's not as all conglomerated.
Okay,
Using my
great,
last
yeah.
Misty Step, and then Curse, you're gonna get one. You're gonna see me just disappear. But I'm gonna double check. I know how my abilities work, but I think I'm gonna be getting you temporary hit points,
Cool.
which I just roll. I just need to make sure I know how it's actually worded. If it's the people after you teleport one creature you see within 10 feet. I'm guessing because I started next to you, Curse, that you're not the person within 10 feet of me.
Okay,
That-
great. Track your own temp HP. I trust you to use your abilities.
Yep, I'll just give it to myself.
But
Right.
right now, blades are flying everywhere. A potent red light is being cast from the room behind you.
Big Balrog energy.
And find yourselves and the group of refugees in the room that you sort of passed to enter the sort of final sanctum. There is an archer's tower to your right, and on top of that archer's tower is a bell. You have two roads before you, one well-traveled and one less traveled. Which do you take?
I'm gonna go down the well. I think we went through less traveled.
I have no idea.
I'm gonna go
You
down
did
the
go
less.
through the less traveled road on your way in.
I'm gonna go that way.
I'm gonna scoop around and go that way.
Okay, great. Okay. As y'all are pressing into yet another sort of thin corridor, you can hear behind you weapons beginning to fly around. One of them strikes the bell. And I am going to need another batch of dexterity saving throws from the group. Oh. If anyone hits a nat 1, let me know.
Nope.
19.
11.
I rolled for you, Dravik.
Oh, thank you.
Do I need to?
Did I win?
Yes, kind of. You weren't stabbed. Actually, another refugee has their leg pierced through into the ground, and weeping asks their relatives to go on without. And you do. Through to the room with the pen that you had seen before, there is an altar once covered in blood, which has now slid off and across the ground to meet its new master. Weapons again are beginning to, because there are like weapons in this room that were conjured during the combat, which begin to pick themselves off of the ground and stir.
What
That's
material is these weapons? Are they like just all metal? Or...
Some of them are made of blood steel. Some of them are made of like rusted metal of some sort. It is like visibly corroded metal.
Do I if I'm running, like I know that I'm going away, is it possible if I could grab one on the way out? But
Oh.
like say like
Yes,
there's a
you may grab one on the way out.
Yeah, there's like a dagger or even a sword or whatever that goes like 10 feet away.
Oh, like you're looking for a useful weapon.
Not
One of
necessarily
the ones.
useful, just one of the rusty weapons.
Okay, great. You pick up one of the rusty weapons.
Great.
It is a like. It is a sword that's like a one-handed sword with an awkwardly long blade. Regardless, um, y'all are pressing forward. Time is pressing on you, and you hear sort of cracking and crumbling and scraping behind you as the cave wall is being torn by the enormous demon behind you. You are gaining ground on him, but not quickly. And you can see as you exit this room, a clawed hand pull the entrance clear and down and grab the altar. Teos, are you still choosing to take the back?
Always.
Give me another deck save.
Amen.
Let's go.
16.
16 passes. You will be taking the same amount of damage. It will be another 6. And so you are through the room with the pens. There is a long, long corridor in front of you. It is, however, wide enough that people are able, like, you're able to kind of fan out and, like, kind of get cooking. And little guy, at this time, if it is important that you are on the ceiling, you may be. Dravik, the same is true of you.
I the only reason I would climb walls would be if it were to help disperse people so we're not running on top of each other.
Okay,
So
great.
if it does not appear like if we're in a very wide hallway so everyone can run as fast as they can, there's no
Yeah.
point in me doing it. But if it's something a little more narrow that I can get higher, I would do it.
Okay. Those of us who are fast, Dravik and Curse, are y'all choosing to are y'all going to be moving faster than everybody else? Or are you going to be moving ahead of the pack?
So I'll probably be at the like I'll
Okay,
like in this
sweet.
instance, I'll probably be trying to get to the end of the hallway, use the situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make the other group come in, and I can do it.
Okay, great. Then no one is around when you make a dexterity saving throw.
Dravik, are you with me too, or are you?
I'm going to be in the front running, but it'll be like with everyone else.
Sure.
Okay.
Kind of using that sort of extra speed to keep an eye on, like if anybody falls or trips or whatever, that I can grab and help. So
The blade you are holding pulls itself free of your grasp and attempts to attack you.
Oh, great.
It was probably more appropriate that I make an attack roll, but the attack roll was very bad. As you feel it leave your hand, it slices clean air over your shoulder as Curse does what he does best and goes entirely flat.
Okay. No more pitch weapons.
Curse, you are up next to the. So you're next to the Bloodsteel Forge, the altar, and the room that is where the floor was coated in blood. Okay, well, blood has since traveled, and the Bloodsteel is flowing hot into the hallway.
Okay. When I get to the room, do I see a statue like I could push over this river of Bloodsteel?
Ooh, you would have to enter the room.
Okay.
But yeah, that's awesome. You could absolutely. So the cauldron is a little too far into the room, but there are a couple of barricades in the corners that were designed to be close enough to be pulled, like, to use as barricades, right? So, if you would like to do that,
Just want to make some sort of bridge to make
you would have to wade in the blood steel, and you
Okay.
would take some fire damage on account of that. In addition, you are not particularly strong.
No.
So,
Okay, I think I'm gonna just turn around and look at the situation, look for the potential bridges, and I'm like gonna like, is there like one last thing? Is there like a chandelier or anything up in the sky? Okay.
hey, no, you gotta check. You gotta check. Absolutely not. No, I am not
Turn around
the
and
kind
say, hey, the blood steel is all over the place in this room. I don't think I can make it through alive.
Yeah, and it is beginning to flow out into the hallway. There's maybe like a 20-foot cube of like this hallway that is now like molten blood steel.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. And also you can now see like the rest of the door that y'all didn't melt is like this. There's an entire like wall that is now on the ground. So, uh, whatever is happening in that other room, uh, the fiend appears to be stalling its advance for a moment. Is there, and you had advanced visual on this, but everyone else is lagging a bit behind you.
I did yell down. Just
Yes.
I don't know.
So, does anybody have a plan about this? And if not, you know, what's up?
My backup plan is to eventually cast Atiluk's Resilient Sphere as
Whoa.
a last ditch effort, but
Fine,
he's not
right,
quite,
yeah.
Mac's not quite there yet.
Okay.
How
and then-
close is this big terrible beastie?
It is in the room behind you. How close exactly is hard to say, but you can see that room as well, filling with crimson light.
Perhaps is it within 120 feet?
It could be, if you want to get within 120 feet.
Mac is going to get within 120 feet,
You're darn right.
and
he is.
he is going to
Teos, Mac is attempting to like go behind you. Is there anything about
I'm kind of just gonna like. I'm just gonna kind of like have my great sword in hand and just kind of like almost like not. I don't want to shoulder check him. I'm not trying to like knock him to the ground, but just kind of like a hey, buddy. I know that we haven't gotten along, but maybe don't go in front of me. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just kind of like trying to like Drew like kind of pushing my shoulder into him a little bit. Like maybe don't go in front of me. Maybe this isn't the time to try to step up and be a hero, buddy.
I would like to say I'm gonna say rock to shek, and my psionic lance is gonna beam from my face hole at 5th level.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like thinking that Dan is looking dead at Teos's eyes with his messed up, they can't see face staring at him,
Wow.
and then they're just shoop.
You failed.
The first three d6s for this spell, I rolled all 6s. So there's
You're
that.
darn right, you did. I think we can take him.
I think so too.
Hey, Tom, when we level up, do you gain health at all?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, that goes on top of your current hit points.
So
Any
Oh.
health Any help you need.
Yeah.
So if you
I rolled incredibly well. No dice was below a 4, and so we're doing
Come
a solid
on.
42 points of psychic damage to this
Oh my
man.
Get out of here, bro.
Dang, you one-shotted him.
Yeah, he's dead. He's gone.
It may not be the last time that you all hear an archdevil scream. Demon would be more appropriate, perhaps, but they don't really have a concept of that on Eberron.
Go cook, okay?
Regardless, like, there is a horrible, it is at once guttural and shrieking, as though 1,000 voices were pierced by a single psychic glance. It it did pass. Bosses don't really fail saving throws. They're designed not to. Things I don't love about 5e Part 7. But regardless, that was still like 20 damage. And yeah, Dan, if Matt could make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Sick.
Boy,
Oh no.
6? Okay. You're gonna take.
Can I push him out away? Can I put that?
Absolutely.
I
But
see him just step up and freaking push out of his face, and I kind of want to like recognize that that's probably not gonna be a good idea. I feel like I have the wherewithal to recognize that. I've been hit with what's flying at me. I probably have at least enough intelligence to recognize. Hey, so he's probably gonna throw something back at him and kind of just like shove him away.
Teos, you've been actively vigilant in the back this whole time. Your priority has been taking hits. I will allow you to do so, but know that you'll be taking the full damage if you.
That's fine. I still got 80-some hit points. I don't care. Bring it.
Okay. Thus far, there have been y'all have been catching strays, right? Let me actually look up exactly what God.
You hold it.
So
Oh, yeah.
there it is. Okay, good. You are going to be taking 29 force damage, Teos, as one of the spears that pierces Rocktool Cash flies free and into your direction, pierces your chest, Teos, and dematerializes, returning to its master.
Oh, I needed to wake up.
He's
Okay.
107 points. of damage.
Yeah.
Tom,
Yeah.
while this is happening, is there still a clear way out?
Yes. There, like, you are, well, kind of. The hallway is like a hallway. And you can absolutely run down the hallway. You are climbing, and so you can avoid Bloodsteel no problem. But there is like a 20-foot section of hallway where the floor is coated in like an ankle-deep layer of Bloodsteel, which is presently boiling hot. Yeah.
Can curse climb on the wall?
I don't, unless you have like tools to do that, not for 20 feet. You could like maybe wall jump a 5-foot section, but like,
Free climb.
yeah. Um. So,
I am going to. This is what I'm gonna do. This whole time we were running, little guy's like running like as one would be, and probably panicking. Not probably. Kind of looks like he's panicking from or might die. But there's gonna be something a little bit more to his movements, like almost like he's afraid of like being in the situation he's in. Like this is not the first time he's been chased by something larger than him that might kill him. And is gonna panic and climb the wall and keep going, like out the hallway.
yeah. Wow. Oh, there it is. Little guy continues to go on the way. Yeah. Does anybody have anything for this?
Is there like I'm just thinking? You said that there's barricades over that you could potentially make a bridge out. Is there
Yeah.
anything else that could make a bridge out of just for helping the crowd a little?
It would all critically be in the room.
Sure.
There are kind of there are weapons everywhere, but like a lot of things would just sink, right? It's they don't exactly have rope ladders hanging on the walls. You could probably if you have a bedroll, that would probably rest on top of the
Sure.
blood seal for long enough for a couple of people maybe to get across before it kind of
How long
stunk.
How long is the area that is like currently that like we're trying to how long is that? Like basically if someone were to walk through that, how long would they be walking in boiling hot blood? Can I tell? Can I see?
Like 20 feet, right?
It would you would have to spend like 2 rounds, give or take, trudging through it.
I don't have 2 rounds.
Okay. I'm going to. I'm a pretty strong dude.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to, if Mac and Curse would allow me, to kind of teach Terminator 2 it a little bit and just go through the lava. I don't care.
Absolutely.
Or like the boiling blood, and just kind of like pick them up. I can make a strength check if you'd like. And I'm just gonna go through it. I don't care. I'm getting these dudes out of here. Mac, obviously, you don't have to let me pick you up. Curse, you don't have to let me pick you up. I'm gonna try.
Don't you have wings, bro? Or are they done?
Not right now. They're done. It's only for a minute.
Is the
And I already
ceiling all
used
right?
it.
Can we cross over on the ceiling?
That's what little
Yes.
guy did.
That's what
Right.
little guy just did.
I have.
like
That's
a
why
bug.
I didn't pick you up.
Sorry, I'm managing a child. Don't do that yet, Talos, because
You're good.
I'm just gonna grab 2 of you and run on the ceiling, because I don't take any penalties for movement when I'm
You have
grappling
the
people.
grappler feet?
Yeah, bro.
There it is. Okay. So you
Dravic's just gonna.
Never mind.
I'm just
I'll
gonna
let you
grab.
do that instead.
drop
the
it.
whole- Yeah.
There are how many? There are a number of Knights of the Order. There's like 3 Knights of the Order left, I think. And there's a handful of refugees that are also kind of here.
I'm gonna start with the refugees and the knights, like the ones that are really
Okay.
beat up. I'm just gonna go all my movement, dashing, bonus action dash, and just go nuts. What's
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
When you have, by the time you have 2/3 of these refugees across, you see a clawed hand start to pull itself into the hallway. And another round of damage. Teos, in light of that, in light of the fact that Dravik can ferry people, are you still planning to grab that barricade to expedite things?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna. If obviously it depends when it gets in here, but I would like to prepare myself that I am gonna let these people get out, and I'm not gonna let it hurt him. So I am preparing to use my final rage when it gets in here.
I'm sure Curse is still on that first side, and how hard of an inside check is it for me to like see you and kind of like know that you're gonna be?
I don't think that requires an insight check.
Okay.
I think you can intuit that.
Quite literally, you can just see that my greatsword is readied, and my stance is I am not letting this thing through this hallway.
Can I make a check? Does Dravik have time to get everything?
Dravik, define time.
Like,
it will be on top of you in a handful of moments.
Okay.
Y'all will not. Dravik might have time to get all of the refugees across.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to Teos, go up to you and simply just say, I understand what you're doing. Not everyone will make it through this school, regardless of what you do.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
For me, your volume, it sounded like you had a filter over your voice, and it was very much like old school type of vibe to it. It was like, I guess we'll find out.
Okay. Curse is gonna stand. He's gonna put his hand on his shoulder, and
on my shoulder.
No. Like I put my hand, on your shoulder, and
I'm like almost 7 feet tall, just so you know.
I'll put my hand on your arm.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
I'm not that small. I'm like 4 feet tall. On your arm, and simply just, I'll grab a dagger. I will hope a little bit.
Fish and milk.
Get there. I can do. Both brain. I will save myself.
Mac, what are you doing?
I'm not super concerned about the refugees. I essentially just want to get out. Yeah, Mac definitely just wants to get out.
Mac, it would only be one turn on the Bloodsteel if you want to trudge through.
I thought it was 2.
It would be 2 to like go in, grab a barricade, and come out with the barricade.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have the health to do that.
I don't know what you think your odds of survival are, but Anyway.
Mac has studied the Bloodsteel, and
you have. So you would know that each turn that you're in there, you're gonna be taking 6d8 fire damage.
Yeah, Mac's not feeling super heroic quite yet. He had his time in the sun for just that brief 6 seconds, but He's not going through the bloodsteel.
Just putting it out there. Okay, Chaos.
Yep.
How far did so? At this time, Rock Toolkesh has like pressed its like titanic body into this like spacious but not massive hallway.
Hmm.
It is stooped somewhat, and the blades that sort of like fly hither and yon around it are beginning to like lodge themselves in the walls. He has to like snap off blades with every step he takes that have lodged themselves into these cave walls. First thing I need you to do is another dexterity save against like,
Do I have to do
weapon
that too?
damage. Yeah,
I'm
probably
literally sitting right next to him.
18.
Yep.
Wicked.
23.
Then you're gonna take literally 13 again. Half of that's 6. And if you're raging, that is slashing damage.
I
And
rolled
you,
23.
yeah, you have evasion, baby. Well, there we are. So,
Rolling really good, actually.
Teos,
Yep.
you can see nothing in this horrid fiend's eyes except reckless hate.
Is its name Rock Toolkesh? Did I hear that right?
Yeah,
I'd like to ready my greatsword. Say,
Yeah.
Rock Toolkesh. My God has more power than you ever will, and I have no fear for you, for I know at the end of this day, I will stand before my God, and I will be judged greater than you. And I'm going in there, baby. Let's go.
you.
I would like to cast enlarge on him.
Yeah, you can. You, as you. Oh,
How far
it's
away?
it's a cramp hole. How far away is he? He's like 75 feet away, give
When
or
he's 60
take,
feet, I'm throwing it
right
back.
now. But well, yeah, as y'all close, distance is kind of a whatever right now. As y'all close, and you rapidly approach eye level with this thing, it is still like 6 feet taller than you, even at twice your size. You see it smile, and in a voice that sort of rumbles like stone against stone, you hear blood. And are you gonna like we're doing attacks?
I would like to attack.
I'm swinging. I'm swinging at this dude. I don't give a rip about
Absolutely.
him.
I know there is distance in between him and them. I want one dagger before.
Okay, Curse, do you have a plan with this dagger, or is your plan to inflict damage?
My primary plan is to get him prone.
Prone. Now,
I don't know if he goes prone. I'm
he
going to-
does have 4 legs.
Yeah.
Which makes this somewhat complicated.
I can sacrifice a sneak attack for having him go prone. There's a save. I can at least attempt.
Okay. You may certainly attempt.
Okay. I'm going to not move for advantage. So this is as like Teos is charging up. There's a dagger that gets thrown by Curse. And let's see if I can. Let's see. Of course, I roll low when I need it to happen. Gosh darn it. 14.
14.
5 and a 4.
His armor class, sadly, is 25 against ranged attacks.
Okay, never mind. That's it.
Bro.
More importantly, though, I'm not really worried about like attack rolls and such. You said it was 14. I'll go ahead and like use that as a DC. He's gonna go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, which is, of course, not particularly good for him. Locking eye. That's crazy. Wait,
Go ahead.
locking eyes with you, Teos. Rock Tulkesh grins, and you see a mouth filled with metal, rusted teeth. And you see a dagger fly clear into this thing's eye.
Oh,
You hear another horrible shriek as the dagger, like, the eye splits into two around the dagger, locks on you, and you have a massive opening to, like, bury your blade in its neck. You can feel some kind of unnatural anatomy resisting you. It maybe has a rib cage in the conventional sense, but it maybe feels like the ribs go all the way down into the like weird centaur body that's happening. And using I will say that this distraction has bought you another round of Dravik ferrying people. And with that, Dravik can go ahead and ferry the rest of the refugees and back. It is just the two of you that need to now get out of Dodge as when y'all strike him. Go ahead, Theos.
I was just gonna say, like, I technically have 2 attacks, and so my first attack, I like swing, and I kind of cleave it in there, and I want to like, I know like I'm still shorter than him, even though I'm enormous, but I'd like to kind of smirk, and I'd like to just, with my second attack, push my sword with a strength check even deeper into him, trying to break his rib cage.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't need die rolls for anything that's happening right now. Damage is
Perfect.
entirely irrelevant. He's got something like 300 hits. But do you have a plan with this, or is it just to deal damage?
It's just to hurt.
Rad. Yeah. I tell you, you could not have done a better job at pissing him off. As you feel the first chop, like
Oh,
literally chopping into a tree, snaps a couple of ribs, and you kind of stab into the hole that you've made, and your arms go elbow deep into the viscera of an archdemon. As you thrust your blade and your hands into it, you are covered in boiling blood, not like in a way that deals damage, but you feel like the heat on your skin. It is going to come in for an attack.
this is before.
One attack, one attack is going to go for you, Teos, and another is going to go for Curse. Well, okay. Now, I rolled, like, real true doo-doo water. However, we you're rolling doo-doo water at a plus 17 to hit. Curse is a 21.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 18 plus 9 is 27 force damage.
Done.
First, you may dodge if you wish. For need
How much was it?
27.
I'm at 1. I have 14 hit points.
Okay. First,
I said it's fine. I thought you said 28. Oh my god.
remember to use your reactions, folks. Heyo, is a 19 going to hit
Yep.
you? Okay.
Do it.
Have,
me.
You have 200 hit
we
points.
have. What is it with duplicate rolls? Yo, I promise I'm rolling dice. It is another 20. It is another 27 force damage to you, Teos.
Force, so I can't have it.
Yes. As you thrust your blade up, you feel its ribs close on your arms, threatening to take them off.
That's really
Pulling
sick.
yourself free, you shatter the ribs again. As you can see, like, all the way up your arm, for just a moment, it is like runic text on the scars, and it disappears in a wave of golden light. Ravik, you have taken everyone across. I take it you would like to also take Curse's limp body.
Yeah, I
You aren't one. I forgot.
I would like to take. I would like to try and take both of them. Like grab Curse and grab Teos, and like it's time to get out of here. And I'd like to use a key point for Step of the Wind. And I also like to rage. Just like mad dash and like.
Yeah. How much movement do you have?
I have, with dash, I have 100 feet of movement, and then with my bonus action, I have 150 feet of movement.
If I can use a
That's so much.
if I can use a bonus action when you get to me, Dravik, I'm going to stop my hand and then snap, and my hand turns into a deck whirl as my entire body. I'm swirls into a deck of cards for 150 feet away in the hallway.
Come on.
I will do it in a way that he doesn't get dealt.
Yeah. I can kind of figure out. Okay, Chaos. You
Took him away.
have this creature's attention, which means you have the option to remain here when Dravik's hand reaches his goal, or you have the option to go with him. At 14 feet tall, you could probably just jump across the blood field. Now that I think about it, if that changes what you do, Dravik, let that change what you
I
do.
forgot he was so big.
I a little bit didn't. Yeah.
I'm just gonna like grab like your shirt armor and start like tugging you like we need to go now. But I don't think I'd be able to pick you up.
No,
I
you
lock.
wouldn't.
I do lock eyes
I'm like,
with across the way with Mac, and just like almost to see like if he'll end the spell or not. Mac, if you end the spell, I'm grabbing Teos, I'm gonna try to.
Ooh.
I think we can make it.
What
There's a lot of hope in my voice. Weirdly.
what's
Yelling.
what general? I don't know. 1 out of
You-
17. How is Teos looking against this guy?
1 to
Teos-
17.
Tails could not hope to defeat this combatant in an extended combat. How long Teos can hold him off is Teos' primary concern at this time. And whether that will buy y'all enough to fully escape, I don't have an answer to that question. But Mac, as you stepped back to do the psychic lance, you did see Rockcat in the room doing something with the altar that is in that room. And it did not take no time. There's another altar in the Bloodsteel. Whatever y'all choose to make of that is up to you. Who knows how much time that will actually buy you.
What does he actually want? I keep the spell up on Teos.
I want to look back. I want to look back at Dravik. And I want to say, I don't care if you believe me, but if I am truly the angel of death, then this will not be goodbye, Dravik. Go. Get everyone out to safety. My God has my back. For I am David and this man is Goliath, and nothing will defeat me. And I turn around and I'm gonna frickin' swing again, baby.
Oh, good show. Good show.
If your God really is who he says he is, then you better prove it right now. And I take off running with Snake Man.
Teos, do you intend to leave this hallway?
Hmm?
Do you intend to leave this hallway?
That's for God to decide, not me.
Okay.
So he's staying until someone dies.
I would like as I'm doing this, I would like to take out in my hand. Like basically like I've stabbed him. I tell him to go. I recognize he's like roaring to get loud and to probably attack me again. I'd like to take out the rosary that I got my periactive wound closure, which I still have, and I'd like to wrap it around my sword. And as I do that, I am praying the rosary. But I will begin before the creed with the Saint Michael the Archangel prayer, and I'll pray that, asking for God's assistance in this battle, wrapping my rosary, and then calling on the name of my mother, and then I will attack again.
Wait, what's your mother's name? And just Dravik hear it.
Mary.
There we go. There we go.
Your divine, I forget what it's called exactly. Your wings are expended for the day. So when golden armor coats you, and golden wings with blue wingtips fly from your back, the sword burns with light in your hands, and so do you. The red beads of the rosary dedicated to Our Lady of Seven Sorrows illuminate a red light to contradict the crimson that flows from the other room. Blood to purify blood. As you ready your sword again, the refugees flee. The party flees.
I would like to take note that when you guys do cross, you don't see little guy. It's unclear if he just turned himself invisible or if he did legitly ditch you guys out of panic. It is unclear at this time. Or he's lost. Very possible.
Yeah. As y'all sprint through the hallway, you see the room, the very first room that y'all found in this place. You see the well-traveled road, and you see a thin, the kind of entrance that you would have to squeeze through to effectively get into. And the refugees start squeezing. It takes a couple of turns to get through an entrance this narrow. And the time has been bought for you.
I feel like we have like triumphant music in the background, and I'm like,
No.
it's like, yes, but no, we're still kind of running away.
Woof.
Chaos.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Would you care to pop into the side conversations quick?
Talk about how you die.
I don't usually like to hide. You know what? Do you want to make this? No, I want to do this out loud. It's good for us to see
Whatever you
this.
want.
Jaden, real talk. Do you think Teos dies in this moment? What?
I think he's. I think he's fulfilled his purpose. I think if he dies, he dies. I think if he is who he says he is, then in a way he can't really. Maybe he's truly accepted his path, his purpose, and therefore maybe he doesn't die. But maybe he can't stay. His purpose is complete. He is truly the angel of death. He's awoken within inside himself, and now has a task than truly any that can be done here. I don't think he dies. I don't think he can come back. He has found his cause, found his purpose. Therefore, I think he must go. That's where I'm at. I think. Maybe he doesn't have to kill. Doesn't have to kill Rakotesh, right? Maybe he is still defeated, but I think in a way he's found his. He knows who he is now, and he's ready to do it and to live it out.
As one more great axe stroke nearly severs the vertebra, severs the entire torso of the most powerful creature you have ever laid eyes on. One of the most powerful creatures this realm dares to claim. You feel a pool of blood well in your mouth. Blow for blow, strike for strike. You have fought an impossible foe this day. And as you breathe your last, you see an archdemon with the strength only to open a burning hole in the ground and let itself flee to the pit. The refugees will escape unscathed, as will your party members. And you, Angel of Death, will meet your creator.
As it should be. It is right, and it is just.
I thoroughly
And-
enjoy the gulp right after that.
We're only an hour and a half in.
You all escape the cave. And somehow the Underdark and its horrible caverns feel safer than you've felt in what feels like a very long time. Y'all will probably travel a bit and will set up camp. There are few words spoken, but around the fire, does anyone choose to break the silence?
Little guy just appears.
Does he reappear? I'm sorry, or does he?
I'm here.
Okay, little guy is here again. Visible.
I think Dravik is staring into the fire, like still kind of tensed up from the battle, like just almost on edge, looking out from the fire back in the direction that we came towards the cave here and there. And maybe about an hour, half an hour goes by, and he finally just kind of slumps. And he's not coming. Is he?
I saw his eyes when he jumped for the beast, the devil. I've never had someone sacrifice so much for survival for others.
He could have done nothing else. His God made him do it. So convinced of
Nothing else except for Mac here.
whatever heroism that he deemed worthy. He made his choice. And we made ours.
But it was heroic what he did, was it not? Not just in the eyes of some god.
I would like to write on a piece of paper or in the ground, whatever makes the most sense, in front of Mac to hand it him in common, because I can't speak to him otherwise. And it's gonna say, is there no greater love than laying down one's life for your friends? And hand it to Mac.
The first interaction between
I've had interactions. It's just I know he can't hear me in his head, so this is how I communicate.
You see in a child's handwriting,
Yeah, you do.
like drawing with the pencil like this,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like with their fist, holding it. Also, I don't remember if you speak Common and Sylvan, so I'm gonna do both.
The reality is, I would have rather have had him fight Velashir with us. Do you really know that this is actually the most useful way to spend his life? I
I'm gonna motion to.
I fear not.
I'm gonna motion to see if I can get my paper back from you, Mac.
Mac, like haphazardly just gives it to you as if like this paper almost means nothing. Like thanks for like writing this, but like
I'm gonna.
he,
Then I'm
he
gonna.
didn't absorb it.
I'm gonna flip it, and on the back side, I'm gonna write. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say. Um. Would we be able to fight her if he didn't die? And just hand that back.
Based on my calculations, yes.
Dang. Okay.
We were approximately moving at the proper speed, I believe, and
Is
I believe we.
is that calculations for you or the full group, including the refugees and other warriors?
If we sacrifice a couple refugees, then
Mac looks at you when you ask that. He says, "We would have made it."
Dang. That's a hot take.
if loyalty means nothing to you, or if loyalty means something to you, we should have all made it.
Dang.
You
Go ahead.
you all hear a voice from behind y'all, a sort of like reptilian gurgle. And speaking of loyalty, one of the knights of the order strides out, and the other two flank him, the other two living, and they have rosaries in their hands. Uh, we will. Do you know the rosary?
I'm gonna take out my rosary in response.
To be fair, I don't really care for jewelry.
Holy cow!
He has an extra one in his hand. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go over and take it, and I do not know what it is. I did see Teos have one.
When we pray the rosary, we see the soul to heaven. And
Would it ever see someone back to here?
they are more alive there than you and I could wish. To bring him back would be a curse.
Dang.
Interesting. I'll sit down, kind of next to them wherever they're going to pray, and imitate.
After the first couple minutes, Curse will fit up and like right in the middle of like the first date, like like right in the middle of the first.
I'm guessing like 3 into the second set of mysteries, you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
like it's just we just pray the same, we just say the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah. And like he won't he'll join just physically, but he won't say anything until he kind of understands what the Hereditary.
A master of sleight of hand, you can you're tracking fingers like nobody's business. You can tell exactly when people are saying what things. That's something you would be quick to pick up.
But he wouldn't take a drill. He wouldn't take a piece of jewelry as
I like to think that even like little guy's using all 4 of his hands to hold the rosary out, like expanding it out. And
Oh my god.
That
And
and
he-
then like starts off with that and then eventually gets a little more comfortable with it. So he has 2 hands on the rosary and another set of hands like going like this for prayer. Kind of like it still kind of looks awkward, but like you get the intentions.
Be good at the start if he just was like just making a circle.
Oh yeah, just
and just rotating.
Just a circle of the rosary.
Before, like at the end of the 4th decade,
Yeah.
Mac would like to come up to them as he went away while they began to pray, and he's getting a little antsy, I think, and after the 4th decade, he goes, "Gentlemen, do we not have to go to Krakow? We cannot stay in the footsteps of these monstrous caverns anymore."
We barely made it out alive.
Do you not see that if we stay here anymore, we might not stay here alive? And then the sacrifice would be for nothing.
Using logic against us.
We made this distance away from the cave. I don't think we need to go any further. It would be suicide if we tried to wander into some place that we don't know. Better to hide ourselves here. Need something to do, mage.
Mac?
Perhaps you can find a way to disguise us camouflages. Have you
Mac pulls out his book, deadpanning you in the face, Dravik, and he is going to begin casting a spell that you have not heard before yet. And as he does, he begins to trace like an outline around an area roughly 100 feet cubed, and as he does this, from your guys' perspective, walls begin to erupt from the ground, but they're not like physical walls per se, as Mac casts Mordenkainen's private sanctum.
Come on.
And it says, "You're welcome."
Could have started with that.
Thank you. I'm gonna sit down and kind of in shock, but continue to pray with him until finished.
They paused for y'all's discussion, and yeah, wow.
This is
Okay,
spicy.
understood. Dang, that's interesting. Well, okay. You begin casting that over the course of the next 10 minutes, and by the time you are finished with that, they have finished the rosary. I want to say they probably prayed the whole rosary in Latin. That just seems in character.
The order. Very the order.
Yeah, and as the rosary ends, Perhaps it brings spiritual comfort, but there is no material comfort. You are left after each bead is counted with your thoughts. And now in a comfy, climate controlled box with your thoughts.
What happens in the nights? Like, is everyone like? Do they just start dispersing once the rosary's done?
No. I think they just remain seated there a while.
While they're still there, I like to think the little guy this whole time is kneeling, just like a little kid kneels in like in front of like their bed, you know.
Nice, yeah.
And like when the rosary ends, his two hands that were like holding out the rosary like had closed and like has the rosary in his hands. So like he kind of does like a double, you know, like
Yeah, yeah.
hands here, hands here.
Classic.
And in this peaceful moment, just thinks, come, Holy Spirit, come. And just kind of sits there for a little bit. And then prays in his head. God, Father, do you hear me? As I cast Contact Patron and sees what happens when I do that.
Mac points out that divination magic cannot escape or enter here.
He's outside of the. Are you inside the dome or outside the dome?
This is a great question. Let me. I have all
I guess
the
it was
things.
built up around. It was built up around everyone while we were there, so I think.
Yes.
Oh, it was built around us. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes, like I have encapsulated everyone, like the refugees and everyone like that. It was Mac's middle finger of you guys are trying to protect yourselves, where I'm actually going to protect you guys. So
Get ready.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
divination. That's tragic.
It is divination.
I think I'm still gonna do it, just not knowing what I'm doing. Truthfully.
Okay. Mac has finished the spell at this point. The walls are up around you. And you feel a hand on your shoulder and a cloak wrap around you. And all that you or anyone else sees is that Teos's rosary is around your neck.
Oh.
Whoa, whoa, hey.
If you would like to attune to a periaptive wound closure, feel free.
Oh.
But
Okay.
regardless, it is there.
And so like I feel like is there no actual cloak around me or anything or a hand
No.
on me? Just like there's physically nothing seen other than all of a sudden, boom, it's there.
No. Yeah. Like you just kind of, yeah. You feel yourself briefly wrapped in Our Lady's robe, and you feel the rosary around your neck.
And when I feel the rosary go there, I take one of my hands and I just place it there, surprised that there's something there, and I look and I see it's Teos's rosary.
And you see again the rosary's dedication etched into the back of the crucifix. Our Lady of Seven Sorrows. You see the stones, teardrops of blood.
And I take two hands still like this, in prayer motion, because we can only function with one set of hands, right? And I'm just, I take it off my neck, and I just, I hold it, I stare at it for a while, and as I'm staring at it, my exoskeleton starts mimicking the same coloration as the rosary. As my whole body becomes the same color as the teardrops of blood. And then turns from red to black to gray. And then appearing all over my body is what looks to be red teardrops. And enough to be like on my across my back and partially in front of me to form what looks like a mimicking of the rosary across my body. As I take this rosary and I decide to play another rosary, specifically the Sorrowful Mysteries.
As little guy shifts in color, you all can see the color shifts on his the front of his torso, but over his shoulders and on his head, there is it remains blue. The red beads around his neck.
Good. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and pray another rosary this time, the Sorrowful Mysteries, and I'm just gonna do it silently to silently. Not that I have a choice verbally.
Mhm.
What's Mac doing right now?
Mac is essentially like it's not a mansion. We're not in a mansion. We just are barriered walls.
Is it like a lab?
No, you don't actually get to like choose like nothing physically about like the caverns like changes. Like it's not like a giant. It's not like a house at all. It's strictly just like a warding barrier. And so Mac's in the corner, one of the corners, sifting through his books. Specifically, he's beginning to he's going over like the mushroom spores chapters that he copied in regards to communication, as he's attempting to try to be able to communicate with the little guy eventually. So that's what he's sifting through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that has been just a priority for so long now. It feels like
It is a mystery. Mysteries must be solved.
I will also be, Tom, I will attune to this lovely equipment.
Okay.
Dravik would like to go over by Mac and just kind of lump down, like backslide from the wall down to the floor and kind of sit near you. And after a longish pause, if you don't say anything first, I'm going to gesture to the walls that are up and just kind of begrudgingly, almost, and hesitate. Thank you. for this back.
He doesn't answer you. He continues to read.
I stumbling along. Didn't. You must have learned this spell fairly recently. I hadn't seen it before. Pauses again.
I've been studying in our time walking this particular magic, this ways of preventing her from entering into our heads and figuring out how to get into her head as well. He continues to haunt me, and I believe I've been somewhat successful in creating and learning these new spells to help us understand her better.
You think
I have no idea. Go ahead.
You think that she uses this kind of magic? What is it? Divination, or is it?
It's
Don't know much
what we are in is abjuration, protection. I have been studying some divination magic, particularly mind infiltration magic, or the ability to see things from far distances. I don't know how successful it will be. Probably won't be super successful at the start, but you do know that the only way that we have a chance of getting out of this hellhole, the only way that this whole thing ends, is if we deal with it. Facts are facts. If we delay any longer, things are only going to get much worse. And clearly, as we have just seen, down here in the Underdark, it is no place for us. No place for me. And whatever she has stolen from my home world, from Eberron, whatever magic that is not hers, I intend on stealing back from her. I intend on studying it, going back to my old life, returning to my own bastard. But we have to get there first. And I fear that we will all meet the demise of Telos.
It is pretty bad. The Underdark is no place for. Well, I don't know if it's a place for anyone. You speak of returning to your old life. It must have been good, I suppose. I don't know if I could say the same. I don't know where I'll go after all of this is over. Not alive.
You are welcome in Eberron if you would like, but I doubt you might fit in. The people there are not too dissimilar from you. Pretty unexpected, very different
Magical creatures that have been tortured to the point of only lacking flesh, is that true?
It's not been unheard of in Eberron.
What
But
if
Mac, particularly rising to your mind with regard to Dravik, is he would remind you of Tales of Lady Ilmarrow and the Mark of Death. The elves that used to bear it before, they done been genocided.
Yeah. Eberron has its histories of slaughter and torture. Genesite. But we are in
Well, I
different
think more
times.
fun. Perhaps. Mac, what if Belashir isn't just some powerful magic user? What if he is beyond magic? This creature that we fought, he could be
Prophet.
hurt.
Nothing is beyond magic.
Have you not seen? I mean, look at the little guy over there. He's literally. Talos' rosary just appeared on him. How is that possible? You said that divination wouldn't even work here. I don't understand.
How is
There
it
must
possible?
be something more than just.
How is it possible, Dravik? He disappeared. He disappeared. We didn't see him. For all you know, he actually had that rosary in his pocket all along. For all he know, he doesn't even know that he had it in his pocket. He's naive. He's small. He's weak. You really trust him.
Sure, he's a little chaotic at times. There's an innocence that pressure. But even if it was that he managed to sneak by, take Talos' rosary, that I saw him wrap around his blade before he went to fight that last stand, I mean, but not the countless other things. Do you have any idea what I am? What that bag, what it does, how Volton can see and he's blind. There's too many unanswered questions. Too many things.
I do understand your bag. And Mac actually pulls out a completely and utterly identical one. As he has created Liamon's secret chest. But it is in the form of almost the exact same bag. Duplicate. You see these tricks and games of yours.
When you looked at that bag, what did you see?
I have not looked in your bag.
Magic. When you identified it, did it look like the same magic that powered your creation here? If you're such a scientist, go in yourself and see what it's like. It is not something regular. I'm going to sleep, and I get up and stalk away.
First is
The bag. So at this time, the bag is then at max speed.
well,
Curse, you do have visual on the bag.
but it's not the bag though, right?
No, there's two
Yeah,
two bags.
You stomped away in a huff and left the bag. Is that right?
Yeah, I didn't take anything. Yeah.
Did you bring out both bags?
Both bags are back. One's at my feet, one's at my side.
That's all I needed.
Mac is holding one
you
bag
choose.
and the other is at his feet.
50-50.
Okay. Well, I know one of them I can have a conversation in. The other one, I'll just flat out die.
You would not know that. Mac said with authority that he just made a duplicate of the bag. He does some crazy magical nonsense. Maybe he has some sort of like cloning spell.
We might go into 2 bags this session.
I really want to know what happens when a bag goes inside a bag. I'm not gonna lie, guys.
You
It creates a
know
black
what
hole,
happens,
obviously.
right?
Bag
Well,
of
kind of.
holding instead of bag of holding, yeah. But if it's a fancy bag of holding, what happens if a fancy bag of holding goes inside a
Those
fancy
aren't 2 bags of holding.
Yeah.
So Curse is his head is off. He's kind of slumped on something with his knees up, and the hat is on his knee. And he's kind of just fiddling around with the dagger that he has. unable to fiddle around with his cards that he usually has. And he'll sit there for a very, very long time. Even when people start sleeping.
Yeah.
He's not going to sleep. His mind is too busy.
It can't have been much more than like 40 minutes after the rosary. It feels like hours. I mean, you're used to like cards are an excellent fidget. A knife? Not so.
No.
You got like you can pick your nails with that, and there's really not a lot more that's happening.
If there's a stump or a plank or anything that is within 5 feet of where Curse is, he would throw the knife at the wood, and you'd hear the occasional thump, and then
Gents, I do have to get going here pretty darn soon. If there's anything that you would like to do with Mac or whatever, then
I want Matt to go inside the bag. Get his
Yeah.
mind a little bit.
Can we? Curse is looking at the bag, and I know if people are asleep, Curse is gonna get up and quietly go into the bag.
Just
Yeah,
don't walk.
Mac, do you do anything with the bag? Is it like the one that's at your feet, dropping through it down? Do you just like kind of let it chill there?
no, I'll put it up against like my backpack. Like both bags are like next to my backpack. So it's almost a 50-50 chance of getting the right one. Unless Curse was actively like, I'm playing the whole like mid-inning baseball game where the slide the whole like cups and everything.
So if Max said this was your bag and this is my duplicate,
It doesn't matter, right?
he would eye the real one, that's the one that he wants to, the entire he's messing around with the
Okay.
deck or doing whatever, but he's keeping an
Right.
eye on what that was.
Okay. Cool.
So,
It works.
Been there. Yep.
yeah, if we're not doing anything else. I'd like to do
If you approach the bag to look in, Mac will simply say, "It is not worth it. It is simply going to distract you more from the quest that we are on. I urge you not to."
Mac believes in freedom of will.
Ooh, he's
He's Mac is influences his external stimuli to make him do nothing else but use against it.
Even an atheist can concede that determinism is a useless viewpoint. Anyway,
Curse is gonna grab
Not Mac.
the bag that he wants.
I will let you look into the bag, but I will urge you not to. It is a waste of time. But I am done putting up with people's mindless crap that Mac believes is completely and utterly useless. But he respects the party enough that he's like, pray your prayers, look inside the bag all you want, but I have no interest in entertaining any of it.
Oh, two minds are better than one, yes. And he's not looking in the bag yet, but please will offer a hand.
You said what?
I said two minds are better than one.
What?
I'm going into this bag.
Mm-mm.
You would like it or not.
Have your way. I'm not going in.
I open up the bag and I look in.
Mac, you're gonna see Curse stumble out of this bag about 2 minutes later, pissed drunk.
Okay.
I snag the bag from him, and I say, "I told you so."
He kind of just
Actually,
stumbles. And
Worth noting, there is nothing of like the parcel that Bravik leaves with. Curse is not like visibly cold. Like, and he doesn't feel. I don't. There's like not cold stuff happening.
and another note, has tears coming down his eye. And in his hand, no, actually, no, he doesn't have his Joker card. So, never mind.
They'd have given you one on the house.
Well, he has it.
Max-
in- It's not
Mac
like
tells you. Mac tells Curse to go get some rest. We'll need it for tomorrow.
when you say rest, he falls flat on his face and passes out.
Mac tilts his head to like the side so that if he throws up, like he doesn't die. So.
Like, appreciate it.
You're just the mom of the party right now, bro.
Yeah, wow.
It's not Mac, it's mom, bro.
Truly.
Thanks, Mom.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
Take care.
Peace out.
Okay.
See ya. I thoroughly enjoy that Curse always has all the parties.
Has what? Oh, has all the parties. I will say that first will try his hardest to not play cards. Like he's actively trying to bypass everything and go back to that conversation with the devil.
You can try. I will be honest. Devils are wily. Give me a charisma saving throw from Curse. Actually.
That's a 9.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. What devils learn to excel at quickly is throwing the right shinies in people's direction to kind of get them to lose focus. And like that's the whole battle with you.
I think if you allow me, Tom, the bar that he goes into is the same, but Kurt is determined to go to the card dealer, and when he gets there, the table changes into the exact table that he grew up at his father's gambling space. Curse looks around and instantly recognizes everything that this is his father's gambling. Tavern, whatever.
Hall. Gambling
Casino.
Casino. Yeah.
So, yeah, and he looks at the one wall says Snake Eyes Casino. Yeah. And just Curse falls apart, and that's where the tears come, and then he just falls apart into gets drunk.
Yeah.
than plays cards. He doesn't play cards as much as what he did last time.
Yeah, I think mostly just drunk and sad is
Drunken
you
sad.
like play one game of cards and you're like, it didn't help.
Yep, that's about it. And then when he exits, he has the conversation, like, Mac is talking to him, but he just fully recognizes that, like, hey, he doesn't have his cards. And he's not ready for them.
Yeah. Okay.
Tristan, you have Dravik still. Sorry. Yeah, Dravik still has your card. Chris's card. Let's see.
Yep. I'm sleeping right now.
Oh, you're fine. That's just
Yeah. And it's funny. It should, by all accounts, be a pretty restless night. The loss of a friend and some pretty, like, arguably bitter words to conclude the night's proceedings. But regardless of all that, it cannot overwhelm near exhaustion. And it is the kind of exhaustion that'll just lay out.
Mhm.
And so it is. Evening comes and morning follows.
The first day.
assuming Chris gets a long rest, even though he just gets passed out drunk.
Yeah.
And just passed out.
I don't know that, like, if somebody to me that they wanted their character to not take a long rest, I would need justification. Like, this day has, like, stripped you all of every resource you have.
Well,
Most of y'all don't even have hit dice.
honestly, like, Chris would be fine.
Some of us don't have hit points, Jaden.
Some of us don't even have death saves. Hey, yo.
Come on.
Oh,
Didn't have his own party. Just kicking it.
yeah.
It's my party.
Have to get this up.
And as morning breaks, whatever that accounts for in the Underdark, a world with no sun, that is where we will end this session. We should spend a minute talking about death. I have not been checking in individually like I ought to be, or not the way I prefer to be as a GM. So, first and foremost, before I talk about, like, individual characters and how they're feeling about dying, let me say that if a TPK happens, and I do not eliminate the possibility that it might happen, the way I would prefer to handle that, I think, and of course I'm open to suggestions, is I think I will probably wait until, obviously we don't have the whole party here. I will wait until the rest of the party is here. I will end sesh. And basically I'll find a time when the party can get together and have a talk about whether we have the rest of the party survive or whether we have everyone die. and a new campaign begin. I know what the new well, not a new campaign, but like we will continue this campaign
New
from a
characters, though.
different perspective and following a different set of characters.
Evil campaign.
I feel like this is like the PG-13 warning at the start of movies. We're all supposed to like shudder, just like violence, gore. I'm not scared.
Okay, so Tom, you're saying we would decide this as a group. I can give my opinion now at this point in time that A, I'm always okay with player death in D&D, and two, I think hypothetically we all were just in the same combat. So if we were to die from a giant demon, for example, right now, it would make the most sense if everyone died. But
I agree.
thematically, it might be cool to have
I-
one character like just extremely scarred for life and is the only one alive.
I
And I
agree.
think
I definitely don't want to make that call for a player who is not here.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think I'm okay with that. And if it's hard to find a time for all of us, okay, if we did it over chat type of thing, and two small groups type of thing, because it does differentiate what the rest of the semester looks like for us. So I'm gonna throw my last load of laundry in real quick.
Recently, I spent 25 hours on a bus, going to the great Salt Lake City and back. And with me, I took my new copy of the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide.
Okay.
Because what else would you read on a bus for 25
Indeed.
hours?
Yeah.
And I was reading through the rules for death that they have in there, and I recognized that obviously D&D is interesting because it's a sharing of intellectual properties. So therefore, like there is a necessity of like you're saying, checking in, like talking with people, like saying like, oh, how are you feeling about these things and whatever. I do think the DMG's got a little like, you know, there's some parts in it that are like, okay, whatever, man. Like just like in that, you know, continued to go down that path in mainstream media. But I recognize that, I don't know, I like Owen, I agree that death is just a thing that happens, and without it, there's no real consequence. I think when characters die all the time, it can be frustrating, right? I understand that, where it's like, oh, my character's constantly dying, what's happening? But I think without death, then there loses the lack of realness to it. I mean, I love Tolkien, and most of the fellowships all survive, right? Like almost all of them do. But yet characters around them are still dying. It's not a story where everyone just survives. There's death constantly, even if it's not a named character. There's still just death around, because it's the reality of the world. And while it's fantasy and you can step outside of it, you don't need people dying left and right. I think death deserves its place. And I'm not afraid of a TPK. I think ultimately, like, right, there's ways around it. The DMG talks about, you know, oh, well, maybe if the whole party dies, maybe it opens the door to, like, right? Oh, now they're all trapped in some realm and they have to fight their way back in order to whatever, like, or what have you, right? Like, it doesn't have to just mean, okay, we pick up with all new characters and we move on. It can, and I'm totally down with that. I don't care, because it's
We
D&D.
escape
And,
purgatory. Not escape.
right? Yeah, we all escape purgatory. Or not escape, but we're all allowed to leave purgatory.
You know what I mean? No, like not necessarily escape. Like
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Purgatory, but yeah.
Hey, I've
In
had a
between.
character leave purgatory, and it scarred them for the rest of their life. So, just
Yes.
saying, it ain't easy. It ain't easy leaving purgatory.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my thoughts. I don't care what we do. In all honesty, I was reading through it, and it shares some alternate ideas outside of just like, oh, they're dead. Like you can do other things too if we wanted. Like just throwing that out there. But I don't really care.
We start
Or we
reading.
introduce like in between, like I don't know. There's a lot of room to play things. I don't even mind the idea of we die, but we're like, because of the circumstances of our death, we're in this in between realm type of thing, and that's just where we exist for a while.
That's not what will happen if the party TPKs.
Perfect. That's totally okay too.
Or we keep the party and the devils take our souls.
I have a plan.
I
Will also be part of conversations. Just like I said,
It will probably. Well, I have two plans. I actually might have three, but I definitely have two. Anyway, Dan, how you feeling about like not only death conceptually, but Mac dying specifically?
I have some ideas and plans for Mac that I would definitely like him to be alive for. I'm definitely okay with him dying. I think it'd be fun to have like experience character death, and like I have a couple ideas for characters that like I'm like this would be super fun to play. And
Yeah.
a deal. So like I mean, as with most of the universe, most of the universe has been planned not in the way that I've originally thought it to be, which has made it super special. And so the fact that if Mac dies, and I'm like, okay, new plan, and that's okay.
I would.
So,
I
so
would
I'm good with it. And I think I'm on the train of like, I think I would like the majority of, yeah. I think if like the entire party dies, that's in a session. I think the rest of them should die possibly. Um, but I don't know if I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Once again, I obviously there's a greater sort of narrative cohesion if that does happen, but frankly, this is a game, and I would prioritize fun over narrative cohesion any day.
Yeah, the only person I feel like has Mac and Edwin seem to be the twoest most likely to not die, just because you weren't part of the main combat the last time we had session. You were there for round one, and then after that, you guys disappeared. So it very easily could have been, oh yeah, cave collapse, and you guys found a secret exit, or you guys. I also love the idea of Edwin actually just being like he barely escaped his life. He has a scar over his eye, and now is quite literally Emperor Palpatine vibes more than he already is. Like
feel like
quite honest, and also Mac. Um, one thing that in one of my campaigns that we've had, like we had a player death where it was he willingly died, and so he had like this familiar that he was a warforged, and he had a familiar that like kind of came out of him, and then presented like this flash drive that when you plugged in the flash drive, it like had his last words type of thing. So it could be interesting if Mac died and like he had like a mini me that came out of him that just kind of like was like a hard drive that when it was hooked up to the right thing, it would just process Mac into something, questioning how alive is he versus a robot. So, Jaden, how do you feel about your character?
Who said they're dead, man? Just kidding.
You're in the office.
Chaos about to go make the church triumphant into the church militant.
Let's go.
The angel
I'm
of death.
coming back for the demons.
I want just like during a boss battle, like just like heavenly metal music just breaking out as like a cloud of light appears in the Underdark, and like you like come down with with the wings flapping, and you're like, I'm back, baby. And then get one shot to death.
Oh gosh.
I just swap Bellashiro, like goodbye.
we need to get rid of this bag. Oh my gosh.
No, hot take. There's no reason for little guy to go in the bag, but what would little guy see in the bag?
Probably like 2 pieces of mushroom stuck together in a weird way. 8 days in there just trying to explore what it means, and the entire time some like random religious sounding person is just like quoting Exodus and the Leviticus rules, and you're just fascinated in that.
I come back an
honestly,
educated man. But this little guy is actually the bag makes him smarter.
Yeah.
It's actually just virtue in there. Little guy spends 100 years.
Yeah.
I will just for timeline, just so we can get. I once we get to Drackle Stew and we have a long rest at Jenkins Stew, um, just to get Curse's thing kind of wrapping up or in the process of wrapping up. He'll probably need those cards.
Yeah, I think we're like post this rest on the journey to Grackle Stew is there's space enough at this point where we can have a conversation. Honestly, Dravik's probably kind of forgotten that they're in his pack at this point a little bit, like just a tad.
Yeah.
So once there's a little bit of calm, be more.
It's a little well, and some of it is I can't use
Right.
like I can only use one of the abilities on my subclass without this card.
Yeah. No, you can. You should take him back. I just we've had a bit of an action-packed time here.
Absolutely. Well worth it. And it's that trade of, hey, you guys know my backstory and I get the cards back. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
Yo.
Jaden, were you just off screen the whole time? Like you were by the computer?
I was listening to everything. I was just
Okay,
doing laundry.
I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, no, I get it. I have your
was-
rosary. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
That was good.
Yeah, you do.
I wasn't even
Good laundry.
sure what was gonna happen there. I was just like, but then next thing I know, like,
That was
what?
great.
Cool.
That was a cool. Yeah.
What does it do?
the
Right.
wound closure.
Yeah.
If I
It
were to
basically
roll,
makes it so you can't die. It does. It doesn't. It
kill you.
doesn't.
it makes it
But
harder.
technically, it basically if you're unconscious, you wake up. It closes
not
your
wake up, but
wounds.
you pass.
You wake up, but you don't. You
You
have.
sta-
you're stabilized at the start of your turn. Hello.
Hi, Sarah. And
But-
if you roll hit dice, you double the hit dice.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yes, sir.
It's big brain, big boys.
This rosary is really nice. You know, after all, pretty cool. Yeah, feels good. Feel powerful.
Feels good. Feels powerful.
I am armed with 2 rosaries. One I have attunement on.
So
Yeah.
get long rest. Hit the long rest button.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good
Good
stuff. Long rests, man. Come on.
68 hit points.
Long rest.
A
Confirmed.
long rest. A long rest. Yeah.
That is, I don't know. That is the biggest asterisk I will probably ever give on a character death.
Oh yeah, because we never see the death happen.
Well, like, not only did you not see him die, he's explicitly angel coded. And also, like, chaos.
You're literally following any TV show that involves with death. You do not assume the death until you see a body.
Well,
You gotta confirm that kill, baby.
I think
No
I
body,
think
no
Dravik-
crime, Sean. No body, no crime.
I think Dravik's thought is like to wake up maybe a little bit earlier in the morning and go back and just see if we can find the body. To be like that's. I was thinking about like, oh, could we give him like a proper burial? I think is in his head. So I would like to go back and confirm. I think we can like we're not that far away from the cave. to do that.
Mhm.
You know,
Curse would be
and
slowed
I
down,
and
you're
I
right.
I'd find it super easy to go in and out pretty sneakily. I can turn invisible. So I think Java could like to try and do
You
that.
can be invisible too.
Yeah.
I'd totally be down. Curse would be down to join, but
That's awesome.
we won't be able
I
to.
think I have my answer. I have a rosary.
Yeah. Well, that's the interesting thing. I'd love to go back
Not that bad.
just to see.
So Jaden, what's your new character gonna be?
I have much to think about. I have much to think about before next session.
Teos 2.0.
Tails
Much
2.0.
to think about.
You're just a
Paladin Bard multi-class. My name is Beos, son of Teos.
That's like Clarence, son of Terrence.
yeah. We have to have some kind of meme character like that every time, otherwise.
But our
Oh,
other Clarence wasn't an Aasimar, was he? I think he
No.
was a
No.
variant human.
he was a
was-
very human, so he could handle feet.
He was him.
That's so funny.
Well, yeah. Y'all. Fun sesh.
Yeah, that's a lot
That
of fun.
was
Very,
good.
very fun.
Run away. Run away.
So did you just nat one on the dagger? Like what?
Oh, so of all of the things for a boss monster to not have proficiency in, of all of the saves, like let me read these one by one. Strength saving throw plus 17. Con saving throw plus 16. Whiz saving throw plus 14. Charisma save plus 16. Intelligence plus 5. Dex plus 4. So he's rolling plus 4 on that.
Does he? Does he have resistance?
He does have legendary resistances, but come on.
Yeah. He's pretty big dude, you know?
All I
Not
wanted,
entirely
all I
agile.
wanted is to get to a point to give Teos a little bit of advantage, and then I'm dipping.